What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. Today we are talking all about compensation for software engineers and how that works. If you are new to the software industry and you're coming from a different industry, odds are that compensation probably works a little bit different in this field than it did in your previous field. The main things that I want to talk about today are going to be base salary, equity, bonuses, and total compensation. Four things. Those are the things we're going to talk about. Something that sounds really crazy to a lot of people that don't work in this field is when they start seeing all these things online about software engineers earning $100, $200, $300 plus $1,000 a year. And a lot of people that don't work in this industry probably think that that's all cash in their pocket, but it's really not. That's really not how it works. In a lot of industries, like I said, you have like a base salary, but when it comes to software engineering, there's typically a package that includes a lot of different things, and this makes up what is called your total compensation. And a lot of that is not directly cash in your pocket. Coming from a different industry, the thing that you're probably most familiar with here is going to be base salary. Base salary is the amount of cash that you get paid every month or over the course of the year. This is cash in hand, the thing that your taxes come out of, that you pretty much get at every job, whether you're paid hourly or salary. However, pretty much every dev position, to my knowledge, at least all the ones that are not like contract gigs or freelance work, are mostly going to be salary positions and not paid hourly. As a software engineer, your base salary can vary rather drastically, and this depends on a lot of factors, such as the company you're working for, the size of the company, where you live, are you working remote, like the seniority of your position, the title. There's so many different factors that go into how much your salary can actually be. Just me personally, I actually know people whose very first software job in the industry, I've seen ranges all the way from probably about 50,000 on the lowest end, like like 105, 110 a year on the high end. So they can vary drastically, like a $50,000-$60,000 range, just for entry level. And this depends again a lot on where you live, what company it is, and things like that. Just as an example, like if you live in Austin, Texas, like I do, you're probably looking at closer to a $60,000 to $90,000 salary starting out for your base salary. But on the other hand, if you live in, like, say, San Francisco or Seattle or somewhere where it's substantially more expensive, granted Austin is getting there, you're probably not going to have too hard of a time finding a base salary of around 100,000 or higher. But do keep in mind that places like San Francisco also have much higher taxes than some of these other places that offer lower salaries. They tend to offer a substantially higher salary because it costs so much more money to live there. There are various types of equity available depending on the company. A lot of companies, especially on the smaller end, I believe, do stock options. This is what my company does. And essentially, this means that when you accept an offer with that company, typically there is a designated amount of shares that are considered part of your offer. There's usually some sort of vesting cliff involved with this as well. Usually like a large percentage of them, say 25% or so, will vest after the first 12 months of employment. And then they might vest monthly after that for the remaining 36 months. But a typical full vesting schedule is about 4 years. But again, in terms of stock options, these are not stocks that are actually given to you. You have to purchase them from the company as they vest, but you get them at a better rate than if you were to, say, be able to buy them on the stock exchange usually. Granted, if you work for a private company, you are buying these from your company at probably a substantially lower rate than an outside investor could get them for. But at the same time, you can't really go and sell these on the stock market if the company is not publicly traded. So basically, the way that you end up getting money for this down the road is if the company decides to IPO, or if there's some sort of exit event such as an acquisition, and they decide to purchase back shares or something along those lines. Those are just a couple examples of ways that you can end up getting paid out for those shares if you work at a private company. And then there's a lot of the larger companies, especially FANG companies, pretty well known for issuing RSUs. These are restricted stock units. Essentially, these are actually stocks that are given to you, and I believe a portion of those gets withheld for paying taxes as soon as they get vested. These will be actual stocks that are given to you that you can sell on the stock market or whatever the case is, so long as this is given to you by a company that's public. But you will not have to pay for these. They will take money out for taxes, of course, but the actual stocks themselves you won't have to pay for, such as you do with stock options when you exercise those. These will also experience something similar as far as the vesting cliff or whatever the vesting schedule is of that company. I know that a lot of these larger companies sometimes change up their vesting schedules, and you'll get different percentages each year that you're there. Again, these are typically 4-year vesting schedules, but that's kind of the gist on RSUs and how they work. So then we have bonuses, sign-on bonuses, and yearly bonuses. Some people may have gotten these in their previous fields, but they tend to be rather large in the software industry. When it comes to sign-on bonuses, this is typically a bonus given to you when you sign on with a company and accept an offer. Typically, sometimes they will offer sign-on bonuses. This is probably more of a larger company thing. The jobs that I've worked so far, I haven't gotten sign-on bonuses for accepting offers with them, which is fine. Not every company does this, but some of the larger ones, especially Fang, they definitely do sign-on bonuses, which is really cool, and they tend to be a rather large sum of money. Of course, a chunk of that will get eaten up by taxes, but that's just to be expected. A bit more common is the yearly or annual bonuses that you can receive. Typically, this is like a percentage, I believe, of what your annual salary is. So say like on average, like 7 to 10%, just depends on the company. And these will tend to go up or down based on company performance, individual performance, team performance, however your company decides that they want to measure out what the bonus pool is going to be. So when you take all of these and you put them together, your base salary, your equity packages, and your bonuses, whether it be sign-on or yearly bonus, typically this is how you calculate your total compensation. Your total compensation includes all of these things, and it may change from year to year during the term of your employment based on, if you account for the sign-on bonus, then your first year total compensation is probably going to be much higher than your second, third, fourth year, so on. Just because you got this large lump sum when you started the position. That pretty much wraps up compensation for software engineers and how it works. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel and be sure to hit the like button down below to help with the YouTube algorithm and help other people find my content. Until next time.